time now, 6:43. February is National Heart Health Month, and heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. Joining us in studio now, Dr. Tom Sheetler, a cardiologist with Ascension St. Vincent, to give us the rundown on what we can do this month that could save our lives. We're glad to have you in today.
Good morning, Brenna.
What do you wish more people knew about their hearts? As a cardiologist, I imagine that's a long list, but for folks at home, what would you like to share with them?
What a great question. I think it's so important to realize what we can do to affect our heart health, right? A lot of people will tell us, hey, it's in our genes, my family has a heart history. Certainly that's true for a lot of us, but our diet, our exercise, and a relationship with a healthcare provider such as a doctor or a nurse practitioner can go a long way. What we put in our mouth each and every day, particularly in Indiana, we have a challenge with that, right? We need to be in better shape. So we need to eat better, keep track of what we're eating, eat more healthy, eat less with each meal, eat better with each meal, more fresh type of things, fresh fruits and vegetables, kind of staying away from the processed things. And then activity, exercise. A lot of us get really overwhelmed with that. The idea that maybe if I'm not doing enough, I need to kind of go run a marathon. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about maybe starting out with 10 to 15 minutes a day walking. Do that around your house. Do that around your neighborhood. Do that if you have the ability to get a treadmill or join a gym. But sometimes we get too overwhelmed. Start slow, build up slowly, and after a month or two, we're going to be where we need to be. So those are really the things we can affect.
Two main things there, diet and exercise. Let me take you back to diet. What are maybe 3 or 4 foods that you wish more people reached for at the grocery store that could help their hearts? Sure.
I think one of the nice pieces of advice that I've been given about the diet is to stick with the things on the outside of the grocery store instead of inside. So more kind of like when you walk in and you're in the fresh produce aisle. So more like the fruits and vegetables, the salads and things like that. Staying away from more of the processed foods, kind of the bolognas and processed meats and things like that. So if you can start there, that's a really good place to begin.
Give yourself some vitamins and minerals, of course, that are in their raw form.
Absolutely.
In the shelves as opposed to the aisles there. Okay, so then that's a good diet perspective then. And as you mentioned, in exercise and healthy living, what is the recommendation? Is it still, 30 minutes a day?
150 minutes a week. And so that really can work out to 30 minutes 5 days a week with some rest in there. And you can break that up. You don't have to do it all at once. A lot of us are busy, or a lot of us are just overwhelmed by the idea. I tell people, I'd rather have you doing more tomorrow than you're doing today. So even if that's a minute or two today, we can do a minute or two more tomorrow. After a month, we're going to be up to that 15 minutes a time, twice a day, a couple times a week to get up to that 150 minutes. Studies show people live longer, feel better, and are happier. They're actually happier, the ones that exercise, over the people who don't.
I imagine that's something you see in your patients too.
Absolutely.
You see somebody in a tough situation and say these are the things to change, and they actually do that?
It's the best part of the job, to see someone make the changes and live a more healthy, happy life, no doubt about it.
For those who know they have serious heart conditions, last question, what is one way that they can make sure they're always in control and monitoring any changes they may experience?
That's a great question. First of all, having a relationship with a doctor or another type of provider, making sure you're up to date, and telling somebody how you feel, right? That's kind of the biggest thing we can do is making sure you're honest with yourself. That's a great thing about taking the control of the diet and exercise. You know how you feel. You know if you're fatigued. You know if you're having trouble breathing. You know you're having discomfort in the chest. And then relaying that as soon as possible. If you have symptoms, if you have changes, let your doctor, let your nurse practitioner know about it immediately.
Well, we're having these kinds of conversations.
Great to meet
Thank you. So that folks at home can do the same with each other and, of course, with their own physicians. Glad to have you on today.
Great to be here.